Hello, this is Dave Hammer, an amateur blacksmith. Today we're going to be forging a bearded throwing axe. I'm going to make this throwing axe head out of a Farrier's rasp and part of a woodworker's rasp. First of all, I cut the end off of a Farrier's rasp, and then I cut a 9" section. The bit, or the beard, is going to be made from a second rasp, and I cut a 5" section. Here's the results of those cuts. Fire! Hopefully you're familiar with the kind of forges I use. We're going to take that 9" piece of file and scarf it on each end, and then bend it to receive the 5" piece of file. Heating up the longer piece, preparation for the bend. We're going to preparation for the scarfing. This is the first scarf. We just taper that from the top down. And this is the second scarf. We'll speed the video up a little bit to shorten the length of the video. And this is the result. And here we've reheated that whole 9" piece, and we're going to bend it. Bend for the eye, and then shape it to receive the bit. Had a little trouble with this particular tongs. I should have used a slightly different one. But it turned out okay. Actually, it turned out fairly well on that first try. The eye there is not perfect yet. That's the result. The eye's got to be closed up some more. I didn't show it on the drawing, but I have a little spacer that I put in. I forge welded it to the edge of the bit. This came loose on me and drifted away a little bit, but it turned out okay. So I'll take that assembly and put it into the head, get it lined up, and then I'll heat that whole thing so I can flux it in preparation for the forge weld. You can see it in the forge there. I use 20 mule team borax, straight as it comes from the grocery store. I use a lot of flux. You do this forge weld kind of from the center of the whole area that needs to be forge welded out, so you get it stuck. And it just takes actually a couple light blows. There was a lot of flux there, that's why I had that dramatic spray of sparks. Got a commercial drift I used for this. It's a throwing axe drift. They're tapered. Put it in and close the eye up around it. Go in and finish the forge weld. Again, you're working from the center of the forge weld out toward the edges. Next is to draw that bit out. True the eye up again. There, all the forging and the forge weld is done. Next, we're going to trim this to a rough shape. I could have used a hot cut on a plate on the anvil. This angle grinder with a zip disc in it is my hot cut today. There we go. Get it pretty close. Next off to the belt grinder to do shaping for the axe. First we put a nice arc on the cutting edge. Shape the back side of that bit. This is one of the uses for this small wheel sander I built a few months ago. This is the drive wheel of a 132 by 3 sander I have, and I go in and put a little shape on the bottom of the eye. Heat that project up again and true the bit up, straighten the bit up, and then true the bit to the eye. Line it up. Come back with the drift and make some final adjustments. This is all part of the process of getting this in straight and getting the eye tapered to the exact shape of the drift. Let it cool down slowly. Actually, you're kind of normalizing. Gone through a normalization process there of heating it, letting it cool slowly, so the steel is as soft as it can be. These files are 1095 and probably 1080 or something like that. It's pretty high carbon steel. It's difficult to do what I'm doing here because of the scale. If I'd have soaked this and got the scale off, it would have gone faster. But in the interest of time, I didn't. Kind of sacrifice your grinding belts if you don't take the scale off or most of it off first. Working on it side by side. Change that arc just a little bit. I liked a little more arc. I hadn't shaped the bottom of the body on the axe, so I went to the drive wheel on a smaller grinder. And that smaller grinder, it's a 2x60. I went from the larger 3x132 with the really rough grinding belts to this sander, this grinder, and used multiple bits, probably all the way down to 240 or 320 or something like that. I don't remember. Then take it to the buffer and use a couple different buffing compounds to take out the finest scratches and buff it to a shine where it was sanded. I didn't show it, but I also put my mark in here. You'll see it in the final thing. The last step is to install a handle. Since I use a commercial drift, I can use a commercial handle and it'll fit first time. And it did. I'm Dave Hammer. Thanks for watching.